aimed at 10 to 20-year-olds, a voluntary organisation, I'll emphasise that again, typically community-based, but also linked to schools in some cases. It draws on a range of support from adult volunteers, bringing a diverse range of experiences, and you might note that previous military experience is not necessarily one of those. We place a significant investment into those adults, and that feeds directly back into the quality assurance and governance issues. And our adult volunteers drawn from the age bracket 20 to 65. The syllabus, well, it must be fun and it must be challenging. It has core components as well as components that people can elect to pursue and develop their own interests. It recognises achievement and it recognises advancement. Achievement through a series of qualifications and advancement through a series of ranks that bring with them additional responsibilities. The components, vocational qualifications such as first aid, but much more than simply that. Participation in adventurous outdoor activities and sport. A cadet in the community, interacting with their communities on a range of issues, and not surprisingly, a military component. And that military component consists of two facets: an experience, an ethos and core values. And I think it's just apropos that I spend a little bit of time talking about those. Now, I would draw attention to a very insightful comment by Kurt Hahn, who in relation to sail training noted the difference between training for the sea and training through the sea. And I would ask you to think of the military component, the experience, as being training through and certainly not training for. I would also encourage you to consider that experience as analogous to Hirsch's more contemporary work on cultural literacy. In other words, you need a base of tools and skills from which you can go on to develop further attributes and ideas. And that leads, I think, directly into our ethos and core values. Now, it's potential to be contentious over this, and I'm not going to shy away. Military ethos has developed over a number of years to underpin success on operations, and you might think of that loosely as being the battlefield. But of course, ethos is not something you turn on and turn off. It is something which is consistent throughout an organisation. And so it is much more than simply saying a battlefield. And in fact, actually, when you think about it, a battlefield is just a difficult place. So the ethos that is developed is to support activity in a difficult place. And actually, life can be quite difficult, including that transition from childhood to adulthood. So the core values that flow from that ethos are designed to support in difficult times. It happens to be that they have a root, but we would argue that their applicability is much broader than that root. And for those of you attending the Communities of Character seminar later, there will be an opportunity to explore those values in greater detail. They're expressed slightly differently according to the shade of cloth people are wearing, but in essence they run through courage, and that is particular to moral courage, discipline, particularly self-discipline, respect for others, and that's other people and others' ideas and the environment or wherever you want to take it, integrity, loyalty, and selfless commitment, and bringing in the notions also of service and excellence. So with that backdrop in mind, I'm going to hand over and ask for the cadets up here to give you an indication of some of their experiences, and I hope that that will lead to a broader question and answer and interactive session.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Logan Clark and I'm part of the Army Cadets. I'm part of the Argyll and Southern Highlanders, ACF. I'm from Larbert, which is part of Falkirk Company. And today I'm going to stand here and tell you about how cadets has shaped me and as a person, really. And I'm going to relate this to my rank specifically. Now, throughout my 4-year career in cadets, I have worked exceptionally hard to get where I am today. I have put my life and soul into attending all I can, and through that I eventually got promoted to Sergeant Major. Now, the proof of me putting in so much effort was that I'm now one of the youngest Sergeant Majors in my battalion, which covers most of Central Scotland. This is something I'm very proud of. And as a Sergeant Major, I'm in charge really of looking after and guiding up to 100 cadets, which make up my company, and also instilling discipline in the other 600 cadets that make up my battalion. Now, although I might not see these people on a daily basis really, I will meet them at camp throughout the year, and it is vital that I have the core values of the cadets so that I can pass them on. Now, the cadets has really forged me into a confident, strong individual, and this has given me an invaluable set of skills to take on to later life. And anybody that comes into cadets, no matter what background, no matter what lifestyle you have, you can get this. We don't judge you when you join, and if you put in the effort, you will get back what you put in. It's a fantastic opportunity. I would like to thank you for listening and leave you with one thing, that the cadets has made me who I am today. Without the values in cadets, I would not be standing in front of you telling you about this today. And I'm just very grateful for that. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joseph Ash. I'm 15 years old. I come from Gartcosh, which is near Kirkintilloch, and as the same as Logan, I come from the Argyll and Southern Highlanders Battalion, but I'm part of the Royal Tank Regiment, which is F Squadron. Today I'm going to talk about how my character changed, but through a certain role model in my cadet career. So before that, when I just joined high school, I was very, very shy. I didn't like to talk to people. I wasn't that confident in myself to do anything, so I wasn't as outgoing as I could have. So one day my dad decided that I should join the cadet force. And during my time, as I joined Kirkintilloch Detachment, which was near me, I met a very inspirational person that I can believe that all the battalion will think of them as well. His name was Sergeant Major John Trimble. And what he taught me was more confidence in myself, because he's seen me and I wasn't very confident, and he actually offered me to do a certain subject which is essentially radio communications between two people, but in cadets we call that signals. And so as ability I was allowed to represent Britain, represent myself across Britain 4 times by using teamwork skills, and my confidence was boosted as I became one of the youngest team captains in the whole of Britain for a signals department. Thanks to this man. So in school this reflected off and I became more active in certain departments such as the drama department. I played in essential key roles in school plays and became a sound technician in the school. Sadly, very recently, the much beloved Sergeant Major Trimble passed away on the 5th of November, and even though he is essentially no longer with us, his memory is with every single Argyll cadet. The way he taught is an inspiring thing. Everyone gained something from him, whether it was, for me, it was confidence, whether it was respect for someone. He gave every single person a certain skill. and he changed my character completely as I became once a very confident man, and I need to thank that to Sergeant Major Trumbull. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Everyone, my name's Shay Simpson. I'm 16 years old and I'm a member of the Army Cadets, and today I'm going to talk about an experience in the Cadets that really shaped me as a person into who I am today. So I'm going to talk about my Junior Cadet Instructor course, which consists of 2 weekends. The first weekend is basically the theory behind teaching. It's about the structure and it's about the confidence and the knowledge you need to put into it. The second weekend is about how you're assessed on how you apply the skills that you were taught. So when I'd completed my course and had started teaching, I found myself being a bit impatient. I really didn't appreciate the fact that everyone learns at different paces and everyone's individual. So I found myself being a bit snippy and a bit, well, not helpful towards people, put it that way. I wasn't very fair. So as I progressed through my teaching and I got more and more practice, this really changed. Today, when I teach, I sit down with individuals. I make sure that everyone takes something away from my lessons, and I make sure that everyone feels like they've definitely learned something. I'm more accommodating to the different paces that people learn at and their individuality. Okay, so other than this in cadets, this actually spilled out into my home life as well. My little sister happens to be dyslexic, and obviously she needed a bit more help and a bit more time when it came to reading and writing and doing maths. And I would often try and help her with her homework, but I would find myself being very unfair to her and being very impatient. But now, I feel like I've brought something to the table that can really benefit her and me. I've given her the time and the patience that she needs to actually get answers from her own self, so that she gains more confidence too. So, overall this course had given me patience and made me realise that everyone's different and everyone learns in different ways. Thank you for listening, and that's how the cadets shaped me as a person.
Hi guys, my name's Katie Conway. I'm from Dundee, which is said to be the sunniest place in Scotland, but I can debate on that one very well. I'm 16 years old and I'm from 12th Platoon Parachute Regiment in the Army Cadet Force. So before I joined cadets, I was a wee innocent 12-year-old. I came from a family where my brother was addicted to drugs. My brother was a heroin addict, and I joined Drummed about the same age as I am now. He continued all the way throughout my life, and from the time when I joined cadets, I didn't really know my brother at all. I joined the cadets because I needed to learn discipline within my school. Through the fact of my brother being addicted to drugs, I felt as if I had less attention given to me at home. When I joined the cadets, I was given loads of opportunities. One of them opportunities that I recently came back from last Friday was a trip to Belgium. We went to Belgium to do a battlefield tour. This gave us the chance to commemorate the people who died for us during the World War I battles. During this trip, there was myself alongside 29 other cadets around the whole of Scotland. I went to this trip not having a Scooby who anyone was. Within literally hours, we were all talking, and these friends are people who I will keep in my life for many, many years to come. During this trip, I managed to be able to represent my battalion, so Angus and Dundee, by carrying the banner, and we got to represent the whole Army Cadet Force in the Men in Gate Parade. This is a parade where in Belgium they hold a ceremony to commemorate the soldiers who died for us every single night. It was a very high opportunity. When I'm in Dundee, I also get to represent the Army Cadet Force by holding the banner again. Also very proud to say that I'm the only female para to ever have done that. Through my experiences, I've learned that going from the young person I was who felt I lacked attention, that I am actually a part of something. I can now go out my way and show that I've got so much more to offer than what I was when I felt I was just a tiny little wallflower. By doing so, I've met so many more friends, learned more to my knowledge, and now I'm on my way to go into my line of work with social work, learning at college. Part of this was through telling them about my experience in cadets, and they realised I have much more to offer than just my qualifications. My brother now, at the age of 14, he went to Greenock, and he now lives in Glasgow 3 years clean from all types of drugs. Without the cadets, I wouldn't have been able to have the support from what I went through with my brother, and through everything in life. It is something where young people like me, who is very opinionated but also lonely, can come up and join in and feel a part of something and create a whole new experience. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Gary Valentine. I'm 17. I'm a naval cadet in the Sea Cadet Corps. Before cadets, I was a naughty little boy getting in trouble with the police, such as trespass on construction sites, vandalism, a bit of that. It was getting up to the point where I was about to get sent away to a young offenders home. So the police offered me two things. I can either go to cadets, get discipline, stay out with the young offenders, or I can continue where I was and hopefully not be able to do all this. Such as in the cadets, I've learnt a lot of confidence. I've met a lot of new people, and I've learnt it's not that hard. You've just got to be willing to actually learn. Such as learning new skills, such as I've learnt boating, how to safety drills, such as man overboards, such as when you're taking a boat out, you need to be confident that you can take that crew out and bring it back safely, because those crew rely on you to actually bring them back, and so do their families. That's what the Sea Cadets do. And I'm proud of everything, such as the staff members, the support they've given me, such as my Northern Area captain, Peter Adams, who came a long way to support me, and that's given me a lot of confidence to stand up here and speak. The staff members have been a lot of role model to me, because they've given me that discipline that I can then take into the armed forces, and hopefully maybe come back into the cadets as an adult, and hopefully teach other young cadets who's been through the journey that I've had to go through. Thanks for listening.
So there are the conclusion of the presentation from us, and we would be delighted to take part in any discussion or questions which you wished to initiate.
Not that scary, like.
Yeah.
It was actually a question for yourself about the battlefields experience. I've been myself twice to Belgium and France, and it was really just to see what was your emotions when you were standing at the Menin Gate, because it's obviously it's something really spectacular.
Aye. Personally, the first time we went, we arrived there on the Tuesday. The Menin Gate parade was on the Wednesday, and I first experienced a high amount of emotions on our first memorial, I noticed that on the gravestones there were people saying age 18. At that time I then realised majority of them probably weren't age 18 and were the ages of myself, 16, 17. And I think that's something where you feel empathy for them. Well, maybe not empathy, but you feel sympathy. But the men in Gate, despite standing on parade for about an hour, we weren't aching. I think the main emotion was just feeling a part of something. We literally had pretty much thousands of people watching us, taking pictures, just because this is something the cadet force standing at Men in Gate on Women's Day parades is not something they always see. That alongside on the last day we were at Logan, what was the name?
Tynecourt Cemetery.
Aye, that. And in that cemetery there's over 12,000 gravestones, 8,000 of them are unknown, and there's over 32,000 missing people on the back wall. That was something where from one battle you can now realise that there's more people lying in front of you than you would ever know in your whole life. And that's really emotional in the way that like they fought for us. We are representing our memory of them, and it's good to carry on and just feel like, as we say, we are the youth and we are the ones who need to continue the history and let them know that it's still alive even today.
I've just got another question. That was really, really well spoken. Did you visit Valentine Strudwick's grave, the 14-year-old?
I think we did.
No. Have you been there? Yeah.
I've been twice. I've been with the school and I've been with the cadets. It's quite shocking because the actual historians have found out he wasn't 15 when he died.
He was 14.
He was 14 and he joined when he was 13 because doctors at that time said run around the corner until you're 18. So it's quite shocking to think you're standing next to people the same age as you and you're like, God, you're like, goodness me, they were in a battle like that, so it's quite emotional. It doesn't matter how, if you think you're a macho man or something, it's still really, really emotional. So everyone kind of weeps at that kind of moment.
Yeah, it's really quite, obviously, because I've been there twice, like at different age groups, and it was quite shocking when they start discussing the guy that's lying in front of you, because he's 14 when he died, and they said that means your year and a half training, the guy was 12 when he joined the army, like a guy, think about what we were doing when you were 12, and it's something that's really, I'm quite passionate about, like people going and people knowing the story, but it's amazing to think that there's so many people that get to go and visit and get this experience from it. But thanks very much for your time, guys.
There was actually, we got given leaflets and it was about one of the memorials, and there's one name I noticed, and his name was Private John Allen. John Allen actually lived 2 doors down from me, and when I arrived at the memorial I found that he was actually one of the ones that were missing. So even though we didn't have a gravestone for him, it was still a great opportunity for me to pay my respects and even just lay down the cross of remembrance for them that had the poppy in the middle, lay it down and show that there are people who would have probably lived in your own houses or around the corners, and it is something that we need to, I think a trip to Belgium is something that everyone should experience during their life, because before Belgium I obviously I knew World War I was something that happened, but I never actually came to reality until I was there. So.
Just quickly change the subject. No, it's okay. I think one of the stereotypes that I've certainly come across is that cadets is a kind of male patrolled type group, and that there's a lot of males and not a lot of women. Do you feel equally represented? Do you feel that you feel comfortable within the cadets as a woman?
I definitely think that as the years have progressed, more females have actually been joining the cadets, and specifically in Cooper, there's there's actually more females at my detachment than there is males. So in a way, it just depends on where you come from and how well the different genders know and relate to cadets. Certainly in Cooper, I'd say it's equal, more to the female side, but everywhere is different, and the representation of both sexes is really good in the cadets.
I think you can say as well, it's not a case of inequality. We do, like, females are well as controlling as the guys could be. There is not an unfairness build. Females are sometimes, no offence, seen as to be more hard-going. We know how to stick it to the man, basically. Being females, you'd see us as delicate, but if we're wanting to go into specifically Army Cadet Force, where you are trekking around mud and fields, you need to be up to that standard. So I don't think divide within males and females is a real big problem.
I mean, I'm afraid I can't answer the question about what the proportional split is, but I could find out for you. But I would make But I would make the point that one of the things that the cadets movement would pride itself on is its social inclusivity, and that relates in measure to some of its funding arrangements, and it means that people are not disadvantaged from that.
Just a quick question, what's the age groups of cadets and the sea cadets? Is it, when do you start and when do you finish?
Well, the maximum outer ages are 10 to 20, but within that the different services have slightly different rules, so 10 to 20 year olds.
I've just got a question for the cadets, and I've been handing around the mic, but I just thought it would be a good opportunity. Do you have any interests within your own communities out with the cadets, and is that formed you? Is that helped from you as well as the cadets? Or do you think all the experiences just related to the cadets, just on a personal question?
Particularly within the tank regiment in our battalion, we work really closely in Cumbernauld with the Peace Garden, and it's when we help. It's a Peace Garden that was created by the British Legion, but we work really closely with members of veterans from the communities who have been through different wars, and we talk to them, we help them, and we represent them as much as we can. So we have the squadron, as long as with Corporal Bomber, we do have a presence in helping our community.
I'm quite into rugby and sports and stuff, and the cadets is a great opportunity to go away. I've been away to Wales to represent Scotland playing rugby. I've been away to England doing athletics as well, and they give you all the opportunities that you could want. They're very open and it's fantastic.
Can we have a round of applause for the cadets, please?